In a year where global music icons continue to shape culture, one name has unexpectedly risen to stand shoulder to shoulder with Western powerhouses: Jin of BTS. The South Korean superstar, who recently claimed a major solo award at the 2025 The Fact Music Awards, is now being compared directly to Harry Styles, one of America's most influential solo artists. And the debate is quickly escalating: who truly commands the global stage more effectively? The comparisons began after Jin's latest solo project not only topped charts in Asia, but also made significant inroads into US streaming platforms, with tracks like I'll Be There surpassing 200 million streams on Spotify. This milestone places him in the same conversation as Harry Styles, whose chart-topping singles such as It Was had dominated global playlists in previous years. What shocked analysts was not just Jin's ability to rival Western heavyweights, but how swiftly he did it, considering he returned from 18 months of mandatory military service only last year. Fashion has become another battleground for this unexpected rivalry. Harry Styles has long been celebrated in the US and Europe for breaking boundaries in gender-fluid fashion, with Gucci collaborations placing him at the forefront of high fashion debates. Yet, Jin's recent appearances at Paris Fashion Week and his ongoing partnership as global ambassador for Gucci have shifted the spotlight. Dressed in striking custom designs, Jin embodies a different kind of elegance, refined, classic, and effortlessly global, that many critics now argue appeals to a wider demographic than Styles' bold experimentation. What truly surprises observers is Jin's ability to dominate across multiple industries at once. While Harry Styles has built his post-One Direction career around music and fashion, Jin simultaneously juggles music, endorsements, and variety entertainment with equal success. His ambassadorship with brands like Alo Yoga, Lucido L in Japan, and Dolce's luxury partnerships place him far beyond the scope of a traditional K-pop idol. Jin isn't just an artist, he's a brand in himself, noted one American fashion editor, and that's what makes him so competitive in the same league as Harry. The rivalry narrative may be fueled by fans, but industry insiders are taking note. American music outlets have started drawing parallels between the fan power of ARMY and the dedicated following of Styles' audience, highlighting that Jin's community-driven global reach could soon overshadow the Western-centric media model. This is no longer about East versus West, a Billboard contributor recently wrote. It's about who controls the conversation in an era of borderless fandoms. For Jin, the comparisons to Harry Styles may not be intentional, but they highlight an unavoidable reality. He has become more than just Korea's pride. He has become a direct competitor on the world stage, capable of influencing fashion houses, streaming platforms, and global cultural narratives just as powerfully as the biggest names in America. The question remains, does Jin's rising dominance signal a shift in global stardom where Asian idols no longer follow but lead? With every achievement, Jin is not only catching up to Western icons like Harry Styles, but in many respects, surpassing them. What makes this cultural showdown even more fascinating is the role of fandoms. Harry Styles' loyal followers, often praised for their passion and dedication, have carried him from boyband fame into the ranks of a respected solo icon. Yet, even at their most visible, the Styles fanbase struggles to match the sheer size, coordination, and influence of ARMY. The devoted global community behind Jin and BTS, ARMY is not just a fandom, it is a phenomenon. When Jin released Happy and later Echo, ARMY mobilized millions of votes, dominated streaming platforms, and turned hashtags into worldwide trends within minutes. Their impact is measurable in ways Western fandoms are only beginning to understand. For example, Jin's I'll Be There didn't just cross 200 million streams on Spotify. It did so at a pace accelerated almost entirely by organic fan-driven engagement, not aggressive commercial promotion. This level of dedication leaves analysts wondering if any Western artist, even Harry Styles, could truly replicate such power. Beyond numbers, the cultural weight is undeniable. Harry Styles has carved out an identity by bending fashion norms and appealing to a liberal Western audience, but Jin represents something broader. An artist whose image resonates across continents, generations, and industries. For ARMY, Jin is not only a singer but a role model, a soldier who served his country, a global fashion ambassador, and an artist whose humility and humor make him approachable despite his superstar status. That multifaceted image has turned Jin into more than a celebrity. He is an icon of modern global culture. American media, too, is beginning to sense the shift. Once dismissive of K-pop's global influence, many outlets now recognize Jin as a direct competitor to Western soloists. His recent dominance at award shows like TMA 2025, where he outpaced South Korean and Western rivals alike, has only solidified this perception. Some critics argue that the global music industry may soon face a reality where artists like Jin redefine stardom itself, moving the center of cultural gravity away from Los Angeles and London towards Seoul. And that is the heart of the debate. Can Harry Styles, with his undeniable charm and artistry, withstand the wave of influence brought by Jin and ARMY? Or has the global balance already shifted, making Jin not just a rival but the new standard? What's certain is that Jin's rise has already rewritten the rules. His ability to dominate the charts, command luxury fashion houses, and inspire a fandom powerful enough to sway entire industries places him in a category very few can reach. The rivalry with Harry Styles may make headlines, but the larger story is far more profound. Jin is proving that the global spotlight no longer belongs exclusively to Western idols. It belongs to those who can move the world, and right now, Jin stands at the very center of that stage. The symbolic weight of this rivalry cannot be ignored. Harry Styles has long been portrayed as the golden boy of Western pop, fearless in fashion, celebrated on stage, and adored by critics. Yet, Jin's emergence on equal footing demonstrates that the entertainment world is no longer a one-sided conversation led by the West. Instead, it is a multi-directional exchange, where Asian stars not only participate but lead, setting the tone for global culture. This shift is not simply about awards or fashion shows. It represents a deeper cultural rebalancing. Jin embodies a story of discipline, humility, and resilience, serving in the military, returning stronger than ever, and using his platform to blend artistry with authenticity. Against Harry's flamboyance and rebellion, Jin offers quiet strength and timeless elegance. The fact that these two polar opposites are now being compared in the same breath speaks volumes about the evolution of global stardom. Industry insiders in New York and Seoul quietly admit that Jin's trajectory may even be more sustainable. While Harry Styles thrives on breaking norms and headlines, Jin thrives on emotional connection and collective mobilization. The ARMY effect is unlike anything the Western music industry has ever seen. Millions acting with the precision of an organized movement, capable of turning private moments, like Jin walking through an airport, into international news. That level of influence is not seasonal, it is structural. The ultimate irony is that Jin, who once stood quietly as BTS's eldest member, often underestimated by outsiders, is now being positioned as a direct rival to one of the West's most visible solo acts. And rather than fading under the pressure, he is thriving. His streaming numbers, his fashion endorsements, his awards, and his fandom loyalty all point in one direction. Jin has arrived not just as a competitor, but as a leader. The world watches closely. Will Harry Styles continue to define the future of Western pop, or has Jin already redefined what it means to be a global star? The answer may not come from critics or charts, but from history itself, which will remember who truly carried the mantle of global influence in this era. And as of today, one thing is undeniable. Jin stands not behind, not beside, but ahead, redefining the global stage on his own terms.